All right, we are now streaming live on YouTube. This is the preliminary hearing of Mr. Diego Rodriguez.
Your
Do I need
Honor,
to turn
the
on the,
interpreter
I'm sorry.
features
Yes,
is
I'm
not
sorry.
activated.
There we go. All right.
Does the officer need to do anything or just me and Mr. Rogers?
So we are ready to start now.
State's ready.
Mhm. Right now, calling the matter of the state of Georgia versus Diego Rodriguez. Charged in warrant number 2025 WA 72792, aggravated assault. And 2025 WA 72793, simple battery. Representing the state is ADA Thomas. Representing the defendant is Attorney Rogers. Your witness, ADA Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. Officer, could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the evidence you shall give before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do.
What'd you say?
Do.
Oh,
You hear me?
yes. You say I do?
I do, yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Officer Mario Ayala,
How are you employed?
County Police Officer,
Who county?
Plain County.
Okay. And were you employed in that capacity on or about the 25th day of February 2025?
Ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you have occasion to respond to 100-BIA2 in the confines of the city of Morrow?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that within Forest Park, Clayton County?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you come into contact with a DA? No, let me rephrase. Did you investigate an incident involving a Diego Antonio Rodriguez on that date at that location?
Yes, ma'am.
What brought you into contact with Mr. Rodriguez?
Me and a few fellow officers came to in response to a domestic call, but like I was the only officer that speaks Spanish. I was in charge of interviewing both parties at the time.
Okay. And who did you speak to the victim in this matter?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Do you recall her name?
Her name was Laura.
Okay. You recall her last name?
She has two, Leon, and her second last name is a little bit difficult to pronounce.
Puentes?
Yes,
Leon Puentes?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. And what did Miss Leon Puentes advise?
She said that the reason why she called the police was that she felt threatened because when she asked her husband why he had blocked her on Instagram and if he was cheating on her, and she also asked him, she also like confronted him saying that she was the only one paying bills and he didn't do anything, that he grabbed her by her throat, told her to shut up, and then other profanities. Then when she pulled away, he grabbed her by her shirt and threw her on the bedroom floor. So
Okay.
she retreated
Let me
and called
stop you right
police.
here, right quick. You referred to someone identified as her husband. Did she give that husband's name?
Yes, his name was Diego Rodriguez, ma'am.
Okay. Was Mr. Rodriguez present on the property while you were there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you spoke to the victim. She indicated he did what to her?
He grabbed her by the throat and told her to shut up, along with other profanities. When
Okay.
she pulled away from him, he grabbed her by her shirt and threw her on the bedroom floor, at which point she retreated to the other room and called the police.
Okay. Did he ever try to grab her by her throat or anything like that?
Not in my presence. She just told me that that happened, and then that's the reason why she called the police.
So you don't know, did she ever tell you that he grabbed?
Yes, she did.
Did you see any type of markings or anything on her neck?
Yeah, she had bruises. I even took pictures and attached them to the case file.
Okay. Now let's go back to the initial altercation. You say you were advised that he threw her to the ground.
Pretty much what she told me was that she confronted him on him blocking her on his
Okay.
Instagram. She accused him of cheating with other women and confronted him saying that she was the only one paying the bills and he wasn't doing anything to the household. At
Okay.
which point she advised me that he got angry, grabbed her by the throat, and told her to shut up, along with other profanities. At which point she pushed him away. He grabbed her by the shirt and threw her on the bedroom floor. At which point she retreated to the secondary bedroom and called the police in fear for her life.
Now, when did he grab her by the throat? At what point during that?
When she confronted him about him not paying bills or not doing anything, and confronted him about cheating because he blocked her on his Instagram.
So before he threw her on the floor is when he grabbed her by the
He
neck?
grabbed her by the throat, yes, and that's when as soon as he grabbed her by the neck, she pushed him away.
Did he ever squeeze or anything? Did he
Well,
put pressure on her throat?
she said yes, resulting in the markings that I saw and took pictures of.
Which brings me to my next question. The markings that you saw, were they consistent with someone being grabbed by the throat?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she ever indicate that she lost consciousness or anything like that?
No, she only indicated that for a few seconds before she pushed him away, it was a little bit difficult for her to breathe.
The markings that you saw, did they appear to be fresh?
Yes.
Did they appear to be consistent with someone having been grabbed by the throat?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened after you talked with her?
After I got her side of the story, I talked to him because, again, I was the only officer that spoke Spanish. He told me that they were arguing, that she was all in his face, and that it wasn't the first time that she did that. But at this point, he couldn't tolerate her behavior anymore. He admitted to grabbing her by her shirt and throwing her on the floor, but he denies that he ever put hands on her neck.
Did he have any explanation for how she got the marks around her neck?
No, he couldn't tell me anything.
But he admitted grabbing her.
Yeah, he admitted grabbing her shirt and pushing her on the floor.
Was anything damaged during the altercation?
No, not at all.
Could you tell, was there any furniture moved around, anything that showed that there had been a fight?
By my knowledge, no. I looked around the apartment. There was nothing out of place, nothing broken. So, no.
And I believe you indicated the defendant stated that he did not grab her by her throat and do anything to her.
He stated that he did not grab her by her throat, but he did confess about grabbing her by her shirt and pushing her on the floor.
Okay. Was there anyone else present in the home at the time this happened?
No, just them two.
And do you know if this was recorded in any kind of way?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Now, were you equipped with body cam?
I was.
And was your body cam operable at the time that you responded?
It was.
Did it commemorate the conversation with Miss Leon Point?
It did. It should have been uploaded to the cloud, I guess, on Polaris, if I'm not mistaken.
And along with whatever it was she said to you, did it also capture the injuries to her neck? Do you know?
It should have captured when I was taking pictures of her throat, so it should have, yes.
So you took pictures as well as video?
Yes, my body cam showed whatever I was doing at the time, and I took pictures and attached them to the case file.
Okay. And I believe you previously stated there were other officers on the scene. Did they have body cam?
They had body cams, yes.
Did their body cam, was it operable?
It should have been, yes.
Do you know if they captured any video or audio of the event?
It should have, because by our policy, anytime we have contact with any individuals, we automatically turn on body cams. So any interactions they have with any of the parties should have been uploaded as well.
Okay. You know how many officers were there?
It was me and two others.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I think I might be done. Was her shirt damaged in any way?
Not that I can see, no.
Okay. Now, officer, can you see the people in court today?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you see the person that you saw that night identified as Diego Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you identify him by physical appearance or article of clothing?
He is wearing an orange jumpsuit. He has a mustache and a somewhat a small beard.
Okay. I think that's all I have of the officer reserve right for redirect.
All righty. Attorney Rogers, and so let's just remember to speak a little slower because we have the interpreter.
Thank you. Officer, are you the lead on the case?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
And if I understand, you're the only one that spoke to both parties?
The other officer spoke to both parties, but again, I'm the only Spanish-speaking officer. So what the other officers understood may have been minute compared to what I understand. So
Understood. So, and if I understand it correctly, your understanding of what happened is based on what the two people told you. Is that correct?
what the two people told me, and I also had both of them write written statements that they both wrote what happened that night.
And did you have an opportunity to review those statements yourself?
I read over like a brief summary, and in both of them admitted to having he admitted to pushing her on the ground. He did not admit to grabbing her by the throat, and she also wrote that he pushed her on the ground, grabbed her shirt, and pushed her on the ground.
And if I, well, if I understand correctly, you said Mr. Rodriguez admitted to the grabbing
Yes,
the shirt.
yes. When I was interviewing him, he admitted that the only thing he did was grab her by the shirt and pushed her to the floor, but he did not grab her by the throat.
And officer, you speak Spanish fluently.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware there are variations, and dialects of Spanish, kind of like how there's British English versus American English?
I do, sir, but in those variations, the main Spanish, it's easy to understand.
Do you know what particular variant or dialect that you speak?
Me?
Yes, sir.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Do you know what about Ms. Leon?
If I'm not mistaken, I think they were Colombian, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure at this point.
No further questions at this point.
Righty. Any other witnesses to ADA comments?
No additional witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, you rest.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Attorney Rogers.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to call Ms. Leon.
All right.
Ms. Leon, can you please turn on your camera and unmute yourself? Thank you.
Yep.
Ms. Leon, can you please raise your right hand? And do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Judge, I guess it's a little different because now I think we kind of need to hear Ms. Bermudez translate it back to us in English.
Sí, sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am. Please state your name.
Sí, Laura Natalie León Puentes.
Do you know, Diego Rodriguez?
Sí, señor.
How do you know Mr. Rodriguez?
Cuando éramos policías, iniciamos una relación como novios y posteriormente nos casamos.
And do you recall that we spoke on the phone yesterday?
Sí, señor.
And I would just ask directly, are you here to change your story today?
Para aclarar lo que escribí con respecto a una parte en el reporte.
And when you say to clarify what do you have in mind?
Me refiero a que en el reporte dice que él me lanza contra el suelo. Él no me lanzó contra el suelo, él me lanzó contra la cama. Ujú.
And when we were talking yesterday, do you recall telling me what you thought may have caused a misunderstanding between you and the officer?
Oh, cuando yo trato de explicar que él me toma por el cuello, él no me toma así, sino que me toma así. Mm, ok.
And
Y, ah,
no, go ahead.
y al tomarme así, yo lanzo mis manos para separarlo. Entonces lo que hace es que con las manos de él, no sé, de pronto al resbalarse me quema con el saco y me deja las marcas.
And did Mr. Rodriguez ever choke you?
Lo que él hizo fue tomarme del cuello, como dije, sin presión. Lo que sentí es que me cogió y me jaló, me sacudió, pero no sé cómo decirlo en inglés. Me tomó acá por esta zona del cuello, me sacude, me dice que me calle porque los vecinos están, porque estoy gritando mucho, porque los vecinos escuchan. Oh, perdón.
And just to make sure, well, you were gonna say something else, I think.
Sí, que la presión que yo siento es porque él me sacude, más no siento que es decir, que se haya quedado pues ahí ahorcándome, no. Lo que él hace es tomarme por el cuello, sacudirme, de la misma sacudida hace presión en el cuello, más no se queda allí quitándome el aire, por ejemplo.
And just a couple more questions. Do you remember talking to me about that maybe you and the officer spoke different types of Spanish at some point?
Oh, bueno, porque en el mismo reporte, cuando yo leo la parte de que la discusión fue en el baño y que me lanzó contra el piso, em, de pronto ahí pudo haber una confusión porque yo no puse eso ni en lo que escribí ni en lo que le dije al oficial. Yo le expliqué a él precisamente lo que acabo de decir del cuello, que cuando bajo la mano para separarlo de mí, él vuelve.
Un
Ah,
momento, un momento.
dime. Oh, perdón. Oh, perdón, perdón. Perdón. Ok. Am, creo que la confusión se dio mm, porque cuando leo el reporte, leo que el oficial puso que la discusión se da y me empuja contra el piso, contra el suelo. Sin embargo, cuando el oficial me pide que escriba el reporte, el informe mío, em,
Hang, hang on.
no, oh, ya, sí, ya, oh, ok, 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 perdón, ok. Entonces, cuando yo le explico al oficial, yo le digo que él me empuja contra la cama, más no contra el piso. Es como la diferencia que encontré entre lo que se escribió en el reporte y lo que yo dije. Entonces, no sé, pudo haber sido de pronto un error gramatical.
Um, and at any point did Mr. Rodriguez interfere with your breathing? I asked, did Mr. Rodriguez ever interfere with your breathing?
No.
No further questions.
All right, Jenny Cross?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Leon Fuentes, could you understand what the officer was saying to you when he interviewed you that night?
Sí, señora.
Okay. And when he asked you to describe how you were injured, you showed him, just like you showed us, right?
Habían 3 oficiales, uno frente a mí, el señor oficial que habla español y un oficial más. Cuando les estoy explicando cómo fue, uno de ellos me dice, ok, déjame ver el cuello. Yo bajo el saco de mi cuello, el cuello de mi saco, y él alumbra y me ve, pues yo no me había visto, pero pues me ve algo en el cuello, me alumbra y me dice, tengo que tomarte fotos. Y pues me toma las fotos. Mm,
Did Mr. Rodriguez put his hands on your neck?
Es correcto, eso se lo expliqué al señor oficial. En la discusión mm, hubo malas palabras. em, Él se levanta exaltado de la silla y se lanza hacia el cuello, como le dije, me sacude, no me hace presión, me sacude, me dice, cállate. Yo trato de separarlo. Cuando se separa es cuando siento que me jala. Luego él me toma nuevamente el pecho, me sigue sacudiendo y es cuando me bota contra la cama.
And is that when you got the marks on your neck?
Sí, señora.
That's all I have.
All right, any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, are we done with this witness?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Leon, you can stay on or you can log off. It's up to you. All right, any other witnesses?
Not
No.
this time.
No, ma'am, just an argument from my
All
side.
right. Closing argument. Go ahead, Attorney Rogers.
Judge, I think, it's been made pretty clear, that Ms. Leon has explained what she intended to convey to the officers that night. She's explained the situation. What she's saying is that there was no pressure put. It wasn't an attempt to choke or strangle. She's not denying that it was physical, that there was, that hands were put on her or anything of that nature. So I think that what has been testified amounts to, I accept that the officers observed marks. So I would concede that that would amount to a battery. However, there's been no basis to say that she was being choked or strangled. I asked her straight out, did he interfere with the breathing? She said no. She said on her own that he did not apply pressure to her throat. So it seems like there may have been some sort of nuances lost in the conversation with the officer that night. But Ms. Leon has shown up. She's been waiting patiently um, since 8:30, just to kind of clarify to make sure that what she said was accurately conveyed and that everybody understands what the allegations are. So for those reasons, Judge, I would ask that the aggravated assault charge be dismissed, and that the battery charge be sent to state court. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, ADA Thomas.
And I believe sufficient probable cause has been presented by the officer to transfer this case in its entirety to the Superior Court. The key part, I think, for me was when Miss Fuentes Leon Fuentes, excuse me, put her hands up to her neck to show how she was grabbed that night. She was grabbed hard enough to have marks around her neck. And I asked her, was that caused by the defendant when he grabbed her? And she indicated that it was. Now, this is
ADA Thomas. Slow down. She's taking it down. Let's go a little slower.
okay. And she indicated that it was caused. This doesn't sound like just a simple battery on a battery doesn't leave marks like this that are consistent with someone neck being grabbed and squeezed or held. She indicated she did understand what the officer was saying to her to the point where she could tell him what happened and actually demonstrate to him the way she's demonstrated to the court that he did in fact put his hands around her neck and use his hands to push her down to the ground, which caused injury to the point where the officer could actually see it as visibly. State would contend that because of that this does in fact rise to a felony aggravated assault, and state would ask that the case be transferred in its entirety to Superior Court.
Right. Hold on 1 minute. All right. So based upon the evidence presented, I do find there is sufficient probable cause to bind these charges over. However, I would like to speak with counsels in a breakout room about this for just a moment before I make my official ruling, and we can go in a breakout room. Hold on.
Your Honor, before we get